What if I told you this story began like a mixtape that made no sense? Different tracks thrown together, each from a completely different genre, with no reason to belong side by side. Yet somehow, they all ended up playing together. And that was exactly the situation for today's heroes. We start with the first track, or more accurately, the first person, Min, who wasn't just foolish as he grew up. No, his foolishness started before he was even born, while he was still in his mother's womb. Even his birth was very strange, as he arrived before his due date by 3 months. When he reached elementary school safely, he met Tay and his friends that day, who took his hand, pitied him, and welcomed him into their group. They stayed together until they reached high school. It appeared that Tay was among the elite students of the class. He always ranked among the top students in the country. He could practically get paralyzed if his grade dropped even one step backwards, which was obvious from his glasses. To top it off, his dream was to be president. As for the one who stood next to him, that was Bach, who had no achievements in life other than knowing how to sleep with his eyes open. He was born into a very religious family, basically, a mini temple priest project in the making. Then the view returned to Min after he grew up, seeing that his foolish energy grew along with him. Although he was a very normal person, no one could look at his face without laughing. Even if he faced a wall, you would find that wall cracking up with laughter. He had a specific dream that he would become a famous DJ and music arranger like the star, whom he took as his role model. Finally, but not least, the one who was on the basketball team the previous year, but gave up due to an injury, living an empty life. While trying to find himself another dream, he wondered how to live without chasing something. When he went with Min while he was practicing his DJ skills, he said that he definitely had musical ears, without a doubt. He ran to his family and told them he finally found a new dream, but once he mentioned being a club DJ, they chased him with slippers. He stayed on the roof of Tay's house for a few months until his parents softened up and agreed. In their final year, Min told them that his parents were moving to live outside Korea, all 4 of them. This would be the farewell trip where they traveled together before Min separated from them. Then Tay had an idea. He gathered the parents together and they pretended to be sad that their friend was leaving after graduation immediately. So Tay's father stood up and told them he would give everyone their graduation gift to liven up the atmosphere. He asked everyone to say what they wanted. So Tay said that they wanted to travel on a trip abroad. When he asked them where, they said Thailand. Naturally, all the parents were shocked and refused. They kept debating. Some were in favor and others against it, going in circles. Tay took the lead since he was the genius among them. He kept saying touching words and trying to force tears to fall for the dramatic effect. He exploited Min's travel and played on their weakness until Min's mother stood up and told the boys to travel, saying the tickets were on her. She told them to have fun. The time for the trip arrived, but Bach had a call of nature right then and was delayed in the bathroom. By the time he came out, their bus had already left. They kept running after it, but did not catch it. They stopped and made a promise to each other that they would postpone the trip, but they had to do it sometime and travel together. Time passed and Min separated from his friends. We saw that Tay became an assistant to a very important deputy. As for Bach, he drew tattoos for people in their home. His mother came to hit him with a slipper and chased them out. She sat down to persuade him to follow her path and get his act together. At the end of the day, Bach and Tay met and went to visit Du in the mental hospital. The doctor told them that his condition had improved, and if he stayed on the medication regularly, he could live outside the hospital normally. We learned that he suffered a psychological trauma 10 years ago, which led him to this state. We would find out about it later, so as not to spoil it for you now. Anyway, they left his place, and Tay agreed with Bach that as soon as Du was discharged from the hospital, they would gather together again. On the day of Du's discharge, he heard on the news that the famous DJ whom Min loved would be in Thailand that month, so he sat with Tay and told him that he should call Min right then since they were gathered. But Tay told him to leave it for another time, as it was likely the middle of the night in the country he was in. Suddenly, a monk walked in on them, but he told them it was just Bach. He said his mother had shaved his hair to achieve her dreams through him. Everyone was shocked when they saw a monk sitting and drinking casually. Tay stood up to save the situation. He called the waiter and told him to bring one. Pepsi every hour here, please. They found the new face entering, whom everyone treated as a nobody. Sun, the friend of Tay's sister. She saw him from the first day and said he was her future husband and the apple of her eye. They spent their study years together. Once, there were girls bullying her, so he came to help her and walked away normally, but she said that it was a mutual feeling. He returned to his house and found her in his room folding his clothes. Moreover, his mother told him to treat his wife better than that. He kept explaining to her that she was like his little sister. She told him she knew. He was shy. He told her he was not shy and that she was, just like his little sister, and was nice. She asked him if he saw her as nice, saying it was a holiday. She was a person destined for pity. Then the view returned to the corrupt group. Du proposed to them that he wanted to travel to Thailand to attend the music concert there. But Tay refused and asked him how he would travel while he was still in that condition. He left them and walked away. The next day, Bach called Tay on the phone and told him that they were going out to play and asked him to come along. But he was at his apartment apartment door and told him he was tired and would go to sleep. When he entered, he found Bok sleeping on his sofa. He asked him what that was and how he knew his place. Bok told him to wake up, saying it was his house. He found Do coming out of the bathroom. He was something very clingy. This friendship was very strange. Anyway, Do brought up with them again the topic of travel. When Tai refused, Do acted out a sob story for the sake of the dramatic plot as well. He told him that he spent 10 years in the hospital and his youth was lost, while they begrudged him a single trip. He said he missed Min's days, which were 100 times better than that. Also, they had made a promise to travel to Thailand together. Tae could not resist and agreed immediately. The next day, he went to the deputy he worked with and told him he wanted a vacation, but he refused because the party elections were the next day. So Tae told him that he had to fulfill a promise he made to a friend long ago. Anyway, he was convinced and told him he had to return immediately the next day before the elections. Bok pleaded with his mother and persuaded her, or didn't quite persuade her. He was escaping from her. They met at the airport and found Do coming with a doll shaped like Min, telling them he would take Min's role since he was not with them. They were worried about him because he did not take medication or anything, but they were stuck with the reality. Currently on the plane, Tae went to enter the bathroom and found Sun in his face. He received a shock, poor thing, but she told him passionately that she remained his guardian angel and he should not worry. Sweetie, he was not worried. He wanted you to stay away from him. They arrived on Thailand and started their trip finally, which they had been planning for 24 years. If they were working on a PhD, everyone, they would have finished. Tae saw a wallet dropped by a beautiful girl at the airport. He went to give it to her. She thanked him and told him he saved her life. Of course, Sun was standing there unsettled. Anyway, she gave him her number. He returned to them, but the paper containing her number went directly to the large intestine of Sun. Immediately after, they waited for the car that was supposed to take them to the hotel. There came to them the driver, who was very chill. They got in and played songs. Everyone secured their belongings. Even the driver wet his lips and they left. Thank God. They felt they forgot something. Yes, exactly. Sun. Herself, they forgot her. They set off, but the launch missed a bit and they crashed into another car. The driver kept fighting all day while our group waited for him. To finish fighting, to continue their way, Tae decided to intervene and resolve things, but he went and took a slap from the driver who was supposed to be with them. Tae fell and lost consciousness, and the police came. Sun reached an understanding with the policeman and explained that they were the victims, basically, and told him what happened. He told her, okay, I will return you to the hotel myself. She was about to thank him, but she did not get the chance, poor thing, because the policeman's partner told him that this car was stolen. They went, all of them, the whole gang, to the detention center. However, later they managed to catch the driver who escaped and released the guys and brought them another driver to take them to the hotel as an apology. They entered the hotel and were dazzled by its beauty. They received their rooms. Just as Sun was celebrating and swinging on the chair, they kicked her and the chair out. After that, they finished exploring the room and went down, chill out and see the people and the sea. After they finished playing and some silliness necessary for being cool, they went to the bar to drink some. The waitress was a young girl from Korea. Naturally, since there were girls involved, we found Sun's brain acting on its own. She told her that they were married and on their honeymoon too. Then she went to the owner of the place when he called her. Sun told them not to trust women as their end is bad. She asked if they saw the man who called her, saying he was definitely an organ trafficker. Bok asked her, well, do your organs, does that guy kill a fly? I mean, normally not humans. After that, the waitress came, inviting them to the club at night and telling them to hang out together. At night, Sun got ready with all passion and went to their room, but she found that all of them were asleep. Bok opened the door and told her that Tae stayed up all night so he could sleep early. So she told them, okay, well, good night then. Come on. She returned to her room. As soon as she left, they all woke up and dressed to go down and hang out. It was just a successful plan. Normally, they went down to the club and Tae met her again there. She brought him a drink on the house, but suddenly they found Do at the DJ booth, causing chaos in the whole party. The security came to take him and kick him out. Tae went running to the hotel to bring his medication. There, he found Sun sitting waiting for him like urgent fate. She told him she made security open the door for her when she returned again and rang the bell and found no one opening, so she worried about them. Suddenly, he remembered Do, who was unconscious in the street, and ran to him. She went with him. The foreigners were sitting there filming them and bullying them a bit over them. Tae took a chair and started chasing them away and driving them all off. But the police came, and they were also the ones taken into custody. They were supposed to make a contract with the Thailand precinct, basically. After that, they left detention the next morning and went to have breakfast together. He noticed that Sun's hand was injured, so he gave her a first aid kit. She did not believe herself and told him, I will take it with me to my grave. This thing, man. After that, a call came to Tae from the deputy, telling him that their photos and videos were uploaded on the internet and their reputation was completely ruined, and they would be implicated in the political ruin regarding the role with the mess they were making. As for Do and Bok, they were in a parallel world, sitting and taking a selfie with Do's doll. So Tae got angry at them. He grabbed the doll and threw it on the ground. ground. Du got upset with him, saying, "I told you this is in place of Min." After that, they argued, and Du told him, "If you are embarrassed of me because of a doll, then I am more embarrassed of you because you do not call Min at all. He calls me every day, and you are the one who wants to break up our group." Tae did not know how to reply to him, and got even angrier, left him, and walked away. Later, we saw Du standing by the sea calling out for Tae. Tae was actually standing behind him with his friends, asking them, "Since when has he been like this?" They told him it had been 3 hours. But finally, Du saw him and ran to him, saying, "I thought you were upset with me," and threw yourself into the sea. Tae bent down to pick up the doll from the ground, and they walked together while they were reconciled normally, as if nothing had happened. The next day, while on the beach, they met the girl whom they helped at the airport when they first arrived. Then, her boyfriend called her while she was standing with them. This boyfriend turned out to be the famous DJ star. Du told him that they were going to his party that day. He told them that he would book them tickets in the front row. They went, celebrated, and had fun. In the middle of the party, the star called for Du, and they went up with him onto the stage, and he took the doll with him. Sun looked at Tae with pure love and said she wished time would stop there. Later, we saw that Du, Tae, and Bak were unconscious in an abandoned place. We saw the man who killed flies telling his assistant that when they finished, they should bury that doll with them. They turned out to be real organ traders, through and through. When the guys woke up and remembered what had happened to them to get there, they remembered that the last thing was being with the girl, the waitress who made them drink something green. Also, Sun saw Tae sitting with her, got annoyed, and walked away. So he lost consciousness immediately after that. They turned it into a wailing session, saying, "Sun turned out to be right. We wish we had believed her. Hopefully, she will sense our absence and notify the police." At that time, she was indeed at the police station, actually, but not to report their absence. No, she was arrested naturally because she did not have money for the tickets of the bus she was on, and she was sitting. She called them to bring her money and get her out, but no one answered. By pure chance, she saw the waitress's photo on the wall, stating she was dangerous and wanted for arrest. So she told the police that she knew her location. The gang leader was just about to start when the police raided the place and arrested them all. They got the guys out, but the doll belonging to Du was still inside. Du collapsed and told Tae that Min was still inside and they had to save him, but Tae slapped him across the face and told him they had to let Min go. Here I will tell you the shock that I was, hiding from you from the start. Du's mental illness and the psychological trauma he had were due to Min's death. His mind refused to accept the truth and kept going on the basis that Min was alive and just traveling. The doctor warned them against shocking him with the truth, so his condition would not collapse further. We saw the day of the trip when the bus missed them. The driver returned to them, again to take them, but on the way they had an accident. They got out normally, but while Du was getting Min out, there was glass in his leg and he could not move. Du exited to ask for help, but as soon as he moved away, the bus exploded with Min inside. Du kept crying and telling them, "I was the one afraid and decided to run away alone and leave him behind." But he decided not to run away alone. Again, he entered the room where the fire was and got the doll to apologize to Min. He kept remembering their memories together, the four of them from when they were young, until he lost consciousness from the smoke. At that moment, Tae and Bak entered to get him. Tae said it would not do to leave Min this time either. He entered to get the doll. All four of them exited and kept dying of laughter afterwards. The police were surprised. "He was going to trade your organs a moment ago. What is funny?" In the middle of the laughter, Tae remembered the elections he had. They ran to the airport and found the plane time had passed them. Tae said, "I am finished. I got fired from my job." But Sun did not give up. She ran in the airport until she reached the plane before it flew. She kept signaling to the captain and made him wait. She was arrested, but she succeeded. It seemed her job in life was getting arrested, but there was a history between her and the police. Anyway, she went to Tae and told him, "Since there is no time, I will confess my love to you quickly." She told him touching words and how much she wished for him from the first day she saw him there. She took out 2 rings and told him, "Stay, my love. When we get out, we will wear them together." The police took her, and here Tae called out to her. Of course, you think he was touched, but no. Normally, he told her to listen to the officers and stay inside as long as possible. She told him, "I love you," and he told her, "Do not worry. I will cooperate with the Ministry of Interior to ensure you get a full prison term. Goodbye, my love. You stay and I will go ahead." They returned to Korea, and everyone succeeded in his field. Du's psychological state improved, and we did not hear news about Sun. She was likely still in prison. The guys went to visit Min's grave. Bak tried to cry, but said, "That is enough, guys. No more tears." A long time has passed. Tae told them that Min would not have liked to see them crying. "Let us laugh instead." They said goodbye and walked away. Here, the events of our video ended, and that is it. Goodbye.